Hopefully, right.
I haven't used a studio in a while, so it'd be tripping.
Right.
All right, let's see if we're going up here. You know what? I don't think I unlinked. I don't think I unlinked the stream from Dlive, so we might be on Dlive too.
No, it's okay.
That'd be interesting. I haven't streamed on Dlive in a while, so we shall see how this works out. Let's see here. So I'm refreshing the page so that way I can see if the stream is officially up. It says we are good, and I haven't dropped any frames yet, so that's good news. And yes, we are on Dlive. Oh crap. Oh well.
Oh, okay. No, it's all good.
That's fine. All right, here we go. That's good news. And yes, we are on. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Let me take this opportunity to share it real quick. I'm going to share it over on Facebook and then over on the Twitters. All right. Okay, so are you still going by Big Mike?
You can still call me Vegas Mikey. You can call me Mikey.
Okay.
It's all good, man.
Okay. Because I was just about to say, man, like you've lost a lot, man. So I'm like, I don't know if he's still going by that.
No, man. Everybody, like, I just say Vegas Mikey is just a state of mind. Like, I want people to know it's just like, you're really that guy that was on, like, Matt Christensen's Beauty and the Beta, and you did a podcast with Jeff Holiday? You're that same guy? You were, like, really huge. It's like, yeah, exactly. Fucking your head up, you know?
Lost a whole lot, man.
Right.
All right, so
Appreciate it.
let's see here. We're talking about The Last of Us 2 today, guys. I didn't care about it either way because I didn't pay for my copy. The end. I will listen to it.
Oops, I did.
You know what? That's nice too. Shit. My most games get an automatic extra point if I didn't have to pay for it in the grading scale because I'm just like, didn't cost me nothing. It made me happy. Some games are just dog shit though. But
yeah.
So okay, I think the first thing we should tackle is just an overall view. Like what was your overall thoughts after you finished the game? Like when you were done and the credits were rolling, you put the controller down. What was going through your head?
I sat there and like I said, I took in everything that I experienced, like all the baggage and all the bad controversy around the game surrounding it, and me not believing that this is a 10 out of 10 greatest piece of entertainment media ever made. I sat by when it all ended, and I was just like, I can give this a solid B or a B plus.
Right.
I was okay with this game. However, with that being said, I, along with millions of other fans of the first Last of Us, waited alongside them for 7 years and knew full on. I was like, this is going to piss off so many people. Ooh, Naughty Dog, you motherfucker. Because I sat by and I was just like, I looked at it like this. I do share my empathy with people who do hate this game vehemently. Because like I said before, like we went live, like I said, like I'm probably going to feel like I'm being like an omnidirectional, like devil's advocate for a lot of people. It's a hell of a tall order to play a game that was long anticipated for lots of people, to kill off your main character, the main protagonist of the first game, and then ask the people to play the second half of the game as the person that killed that character. That's pretty fun. I noticed that just from watching people do live streams on the game, and it's too funny because me personally, I went so back and forth with the game, like what I thought was the story, right? But what kept me pulling through it was gameplay.
Right. Snubber, real quick, let me get this super chat. I'm gonna probably be stopping you every now and then to get donations if they come through. So just a heads up.
Oh yeah, you gotta let me know if people are saying anything to me in the chat because I'm on my phone, so I can't have multiple windows open.
Gotcha. Snubber says Abby sucks and Lev was a token. They tried to make a point in saying it's not a token.
You know what's so funny, right?
I liked Lev.
Deadass, she was my favorite of the newest characters. Her and Yara. I have to say, it was like, get this right. I know you were talking about earlier about like your whole like huge checklist of things that like are wrong with it, and I have a lot of things that are right and a lot of things are wrong. But I, like you said earlier, it's just like you have to either go hot or cold with The Last of Us, and I kind of hate that
Mm,
because this game in and of itself is not a hot or cold game. I feel like the brilliance in the game is very sporadic, you
right.
know, and a lot of it is sort of service. A lot more of it is just serviceable video game, and a lot of it is kind of bad when it comes to like its writing and structure and pacing sometimes.
Well, one of my criticisms, you said you hadn't seen my video, so I'll tell you that
Right, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
my issue, because we'll get the criticism out of the way first, I guess, was the fact that the game put a lot of weight on the concept of a single life being extremely valuable, or
Right.
just what a person is going to do in order to take said life. And they put a very heavy emphasis on it and like made the characters have to be put in these situations where like should I or shouldn't I? You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
while you were contemplating this decision, you were killing hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yep.
So
Oh man,
I'm just like
you hit it. Yep.
there's a huge disconnect there because and the thing that really kind of tipped me off to that, and I didn't talk about this in my video either, so you guys will be hearing this from me for the first time. The thing that
Right.
really tipped me off is when Ellie first went out to go get her revenge and she was with Dina.
Right.
Every group of people you killed, if you paid attention, after the whole transition was done and like they moved into the okay, now you're out of the battle phase so the characters can talk again.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the question that Dina asked you every time?
Was she like, "Are you okay?" or something like that, or
No,
like,
the question she asked you every single time after a battle segment when you were done and everybody was dead was, "See anybody you recognize?" And Ellie's answer was
that's a good
no
point.
every
That's a
single
good
time.
point.
Like, nope, didn't see anybody. Let's move on. And I'm just like, wait, hold on. I'm just like,
You know
wait.
what's so? You know what's funny? You mentioned that, and I said the same thing to my fiance. I said to her, and kind of piggyback off of what you said. I feel like it's a criticism that I think both us as gamers and the developers of Naughty Dog share, because Naughty Dog is trying to give us The Last of Us Part 2 and trying to sell it to us as more than what it is. It is a stealth action, super immature, bloody, gory survival horror game.
Mm-hmm.
But what Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann are trying to sell you, this is a commentary on the nature of violence, and we don't like to use fun to describe our games. Bull fucking shit. You know how many nail bombs and tripwires and how many legs I blew off with the double barrel shotgun? Don't sit there and try to tell me about and it's so fucking about it is like they designed the game to where you have like the most optimum battle efficiency
Oh yeah.
corridor battles, right? But then like when it comes to cutscenes, it's like Ellie, you literally are freaking out because you throat stabbed a pregnant woman, and I'm just like, you literally blew up human beings to giblets. Like,
Stunlock in the chat says, you know, stealthing through the whole segment where you don't kill anyone is a better way to play. Dude, every chance I had, and this is why it took me so long to beat the game. I think it took me like 35 hours to beat it on my end
yeah,
because I tried every chance I got. I tried to like stealth my way through the whole thing, and in some places it was much more difficult than others. And those fucking dogs, god damn it, those goddamn dogs.
stabbed every single mutt in that fucking. I didn't care. I sought out dogs to stab because I
Oh
was
my
just like,
god, dude.
who's smelling who, motherfucker?
I actually saw some reviews of people saying like I literally stopped playing the moment I realized you could kill dogs. It was like that's when I said the game was garbage. And I'm like, wow, you set the
Really?
bar extremely low, didn't you? Like, goddamn.
Like motherfucker, I played Red Dead Redemption 1, and that's a game where you can skin every animal pelt. I had about 500 horse pelts in that game. It's a fucking dog that's trying to kill you. Like, you better attack him. No, I see what people and like I said, all this stuff that people were saying in reviews, like positively and negatively,
Uh,
prepared me to have the like a really low expectation, but like I couldn't help it. By the time the opening scene of The Last of Us 2 popped in, and mind you, I replayed Last of Us Part 1 like a week before I got the game.
Uh-huh.
And when you see the opening scene where Joel is just saying, it's just like, they were going to do an operation on it, the Fireflies. I was like, fuck, this is a sequel to The Last of Us, isn't it?
Well, you know what?
Strapped me in.
I didn't really have that much of an issue with combining the two because I felt that what happened in the first one was it was basically the catalyst to taking you into the next game, because the one thing when I was talking to my little brother about this and I was trying to explain to him what was going on, and he was, oh man, and I'm just like, if you look at Joel as a character and you think about what he did, there is no way in hell this dude destroyed an entire faction of people who had set out for an ambition as large as creating a cure for the world, and just killed them all and fucking took the cure and left, and there wasn't going to be any consequences. I'm like, that is, if you thought that was asinine. Like that's just ridiculous.
But here's the thing, right? I think before the world actually got The Last of Us 2 that we got, I personally feel like it's really hard to even conceptualize what a really good sequel should have been.
Yeah.
Up until that point, no one wanted a sequel to The Last of Us, me included. I didn't want to know about what the world was going to find out about Joel, this thing of the cure. What made Last of Us Part 1 hurt so good is that you were left dangling. I was like, this dude straight up lied to this girl's face.
I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum there, because I wanted to know. I'm like, tell me, goddammit, how dare you do this to me?
I feel like the weird thing about it is it's just like I think the fundamental difference for me, like between The Last of Us Part 1 and why there's such, I don't like Last of Us 2 nearly as much as 1, but I do still give it credit. I do think in parts that this, like especially with the flashbacks, it's Part 2 is a more than worthy sequel to Part 1. But what made Part 1 so special is that it was able to take a somewhat familiar sounding post-apocalyptic zombie story, right? And kind of set aside and sort of like focus on a singular vision, like kind of like what the whole Firefly quote was, like, if you find, like, in the darkness, try to find us in the light. And I was just like, wow, you took a hardened, violent, murderous smuggler and paired her with a 14-year-old girl who just might be the key to society. All you have to do is take her here, like on a road trip from hell. And like their bond was forged between that. Like the stakes were high, but they felt so personal.
Yeah,
and then like for the sequel, not to cut you off, but like for like the sequel, I felt like they went in so large, so grandiose, bigger worlds, double the runtime, running on PS4. We're gonna flesh out the battle mechanics, man. It's gonna look so beautiful, but it's just a revenge story.
Exactly, and that's all it really is at the end of the day. And you know what? I think, hold on. First, let me get this comment real quick, because this is it said, there are people who freak out about killing animals but don't bat an eye about killing humans. I judge these people massively. You know what? I agree. I've always thought that was kind of weird. I'm just like, oh, killing people is fine, but you draw the line at animals? That's interesting.
Well, you can bribe humans, though. Like if a dog is fucking ripping your fucking throat out, it's not going to stop until you stop moving. So
yeah.
Like,
see,
but it was so. Go ahead.
Well, real quick, do you think that this game would have been a little more interesting, or maybe presented better, if they cut the game into two separate scenarios? So like when you play the game first with Abby and play through and you experience from her perspective, and then like when you go into the next part of the game or whatever as a completely separate thing, it's like you beat the game, the credits roll, and then you play again. You play with Ellie this time and see it from her perspective. Do you think it would
to ask for that would be to ask for a Last of Us Part 2 that was developed by Capcom and not Naughty Dog. I see what you. I knew what you were doing. Scenario A, scenario B, and guess
Right,
what? In a
right.
perfect world, that would be awesome. But here's what I want you to know: something about The Last of Us, and my personal thoughts about Neil Druckmann, the creative director. I I'm like give a full background. I love Naughty Dog games, man. I love the Uncharted games. I love The Last of Us One, Crash Bandicoot, my shit. You know, I love all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But with all that said, I kind of do think Neil Druckmann is a little bit of a hack, personally, when it comes to writing.
Well, this game was a digital representation of somebody sucking their own dick.
Yeah, but like get this to Neil's credit, right? He does. I feel like Last of Us Part Two has a lot more better visual storytelling than it does literary storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say is I think Neil is really good at like motifs and themes and like ideas, but when it comes to actually writing it down in paper and trying to like thread them together to make a story, it's kind of just like you're doing whatever you can to make this game be a 20-hour plus thing as possible. Imagine what that's like writing a script for a 20-hour plus game.
Yeah. Non-Vitae Rex, thank you for the donation. Is it at least a satisfying revenge story? I will say that it could have been.
Man, that depends on I say for everyone, The Last of Us is a litmus test. Because for some people, for me, I mean, are we going to talk spoilers in here?
Like, oh yeah, we're talking spoilers. Okay. We're talking everything.
For some people who were dismayed at the fact that they had to later play Abby after Abby smashed in Joel's head,
mm-hmm.
I've seen some people who were irate that Ellie doesn't finish suffocating Abby.
Well, yeah.
But I was also the player who sat there and I was just like, are you dead ass gonna go to California after your life is settled down with Dina?
Dude.
Like, are you really gonna throw this away?
Dude.
Fuck Ellie. Right when I thought the game was about to end, I was like, wow, we have more game here.
I was pissed on. Look, I was mad as fuck at Tommy when he showed up because, and you know what? The way they presented it when she came back into the house and Dina was like, come on in, and I saw Tommy limp over to her. I'm like, he about to fuck all this shit up, ain't he? I'm like, I know he is. This ain't just no visit. I'm like, Tommy about to throw a monkey wrench in this whole thing, and the way he acted towards her pissed me off. I'm like, how fucking dare you, dude? You were the one, if I remember correctly, when this whole situation started, told your wife to lock her up and not let her even be involved, sir. Like, are you fucking serious?
And that's where I kind of just like was a little bit of the problem with the writing. Like at first when Tommy left and after Joel died, Ellie was just like, so what, you're going to keep me here? And Maria's just like, that's what the orders were. So there's a horse and 6 bullets. Go ahead, go at it. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I was just like, you can't have a game if Ellie's just locked up. You know what would have been cool?
Yeah.
Ellie sneaking out of the compound. That could be your stealth tutorial. That would have been dope, but whatever.
See, my interpretation of what a good ending would have been is when Tommy showed up, Dina would have told him to fuck off, just like she did. She would have convinced Ellie that she needs to stay home because that's where they need to be. And as a surprise, just kind of, holy shit, this is happening type of thing, they would let you play as Tommy for that last section. And he go finish the job. I'm like, that would have been acceptable for me. Like, I'd have been cool with that.
That would have been pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Actually, but you know what's so funny? I know a lot of people are now thinking about like where the world could go with The Last of Us 3, and I was just like, first of all, Naughty Dog, don't count the chickens before they hatch, man. You might just be pissed off about 50% of your fucking player base, so let's not. But I will say this. After the final cutscene when Ellie lets Abby go, I did kind of have like wonder in my head. I was like, where could they go with The Last of Us Part 3? Because The Last of Us Part 3, like, you could look at, like, hindsight is 2020, right? 10 years in the future, or 5 years in the future, we're all fucking around, or PS5s and shit like that. Mm-hmm. They talk about The Last of Us 3. This could be set, like, a decade or so in the future, or something like that. And some greater set of circumstances would lead Abby and Ellie to cross paths again.
Well, somebody got close to it in the chat. What I think, or at least what I was thinking might end up happening is Abby's going to get reconnected back with the Fireflies like she had initially planned on doing. And they're going to start the conversation back up on a cure. And at that time, the only person who's going to know that there's an immune person out there who has it is Abby. And I think there's going to be kind of a, hey, I might know somebody, but...
Hey, friend, yeah.
I might know somebody who fits the bill, but the only person who could make the cure is now dead, so...
Right, but I know. It was like, but I know the person. It was just like, what's so special about this person?
So
it's
should,
like, and it's like her and Lev have to tell this third NPC. It's just like, it's like, what's so special about this one person who's immune? You say is immune. It's just like, it's like I killed someone who was special to her, and it just cuts to like Ellie. Still do the dual protagonist thing, but have it play out more. Because look at it, like Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann. These motherfuckers want to make TV shows. They want to make movies, okay? They like to play with heavy thematic themes really hard, and I could tell that more so in this game than any of their other games they released previously.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a good way you could actually like greet into Abby or to Ellie again is you see her face is a little more wrinkled, probably has a couple more scars, and she has like a her own like home that's almost just like fortified with like booby traps and shit like that. And she's living as a recluse.
Oh, thank you, Toxic, for the donation. Just got here. Sorry to interrupt you. And Stunlock, check your DMs.
That's awesome. But no, I was just like, that would be an interesting thing, right? And if they first meet each other again, there better be a fist fight. I want to see a Lethal Weapon style fist fight on what's her name's home turf.
Now, like, you said you didn't see my didn't see my last video, right?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so what do you think about this? Because this was my opinion on the direction that I think that they were going for with the ending. Because a lot of people said they don't really understand why she didn't pull the trigger at the end, right? And I'm just like, okay, I think, and this is my my conclusion that I came to after thinking about all the other context in the game. I think that what Ellie was struggling with after Joel died was not specifically the fact that she needed to or didn't get her revenge on Abby. I think what she was struggling with was the fact that she didn't get a chance to forgive Joel before he died.
Yeah.
And I think that what was driving her night terrors, I think that was like the real kind of crux to what it is she was seriously having a problem with afterwards, because
plus like it's probably hard for her to reconcile the fact that, like, despite the fact that she has saved Joel's life numerous times, fucking nursed the guy when he got impaled with rebar in the first game, you know?
Right.
But probably just like, I have to live with the fact that, like, I saw this motherfucker's head get applesauced in front of me.
Right.
like I have to live with that, and I had hatred in my heart for that dude at that time.
Yeah, quick, Neil Druckmann, thank you, Hazmat. Neil Druckmann just wanted to be Hideo Kojima. Well, his games ain't that cryptic. Jesus Christ. Like,
well, you know what? I did tell someone the other day. I was like, Neil Druckmann, Hideo Kojima, you are not.
Yeah, you ain't him. Because at least I understand what the fuck you're trying to do. I don't know what the fuck Hideo be thinking.
No, it's like I actually like I remember like the big like fuss when like Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, and I was just like, Hideo, you're a bit of a fuck though by putting Solid Snake on the cover of your game and only letting players get to play him for one level. That's a bit of it, but you will have a whole bunch of Metal Gear Solid fans that'll defend Hideo's position till here in the moon. Trust me, I've heard it.
Yeah. But, real quick, Cynical Lindsay says, so do the clickers no longer deliver a one-hit kill? They do, except for when you play with Abby, you get a shiv that you can make that can prevent you from being one-shotted by the clickers if you use it. So,
like, Abby, play-wise, is the replacement Joel.
Mm.
She is. She can melee people to death, whereas Abby can't, you know. She has to, like, craft shivs and shit. Like, she gets kind of, like, the cooler weapons out of everyone.
Yeah.
I was like, she had that breakaway over and under shotgun. I was like, oh, fuck, I want that. That looks dope.
Yeah, that motherfucker was a beast. What's up, Stunlock?
What up, Setsu?
All right.
And then she gets the side-by-side double barrel later, and you're like, she's even cooler now.
Oh hell yeah! I was like, boomstick, let's go.
I was like, dude, I'm in there because I wanted that double barrel. I saw it on one of the crazy people, and I was just like, no, I want that, and they didn't give it to me. I was like, you sons of bitches. But let's talk about the best moment in the game real quick.
Well, hold on. Let me get this donation. Toxic, thank you again. I know nothing about The Last of Us 2. I just want to support. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
That's always nice.
Yay, free money.
So, the best moment in the goddamn game is when that fat motherfucker punches Lev so hard in the face that he slams into that garage door. That is my favorite moment. Fat girl is the shit. Okay.
Fat girl, yep.
I saw that meme, and I was like, because I was like maybe a quarter of the way through the game. It's like, I have no idea who this kid is. He could be the coolest motherfucker in the game, but the fact that he takes this lunch money punch and just loses his entire school lunch money in one hit, I was like, I am gonna pop off so fucking hard when this happens.
Dude.
And then I finally realized after maybe 2 or 3 hours of playing as Abby, I was like, oh shit, Lev's about to get fucking wrecked. And so I was waiting throughout all of Seattle for this kid to just take this hand. And I'm just like, please, let it happen soon. I'm losing it. I need to see this.
Dude, when it finally happened, I heard the Sonic rings come out of that motherfucker, dude.
Oh my god, dude. He got Sonic rings. They took his lunch money. He can't eat without a straw no more. That kid got hit so goddamn hard that the garage door across the fucking street was like, goddamn, that hurt me. I was so happy.
If you play the Japanese version of The Last of Us Part 2, Lev will disappear off the screen just like Smash. He'll just
He got punched so hard, I'm surprised Kratos didn't fall down. Like, my god.
Man.
It was a happy moment for me.
I didn't see it coming, dude.
Like Nathan Drake popped his head in like Toasty from Mortal Kombat. Right. Saw this. He was like, holy shit.
Fucking all the wampum fruit just came out of him. I was so happy. And I like Lev. Lev was coolest. Lev was one of the cooler characters that I've seen in this game. And I was like, you know what? People bitch about the whole trans character thing, but I think they did Lev just fine. Lev was cool.
No,
Lev pulled shit off.
I actually thought Lev was Lev and Yara were the two most sympathetic characters.
Yeah.
Who at first, in my opinion, were introduced in the most shoddy way possible. But I was won over by them through, believe it or not, fucking Abby's somewhat pseudo-redemptive gameplay. This is the second time throughout the campaign where she's getting saved by mortal enemies.
Yeah.
And she doesn't kill them. She doesn't take a golf club to their head this time. I watched a video, right? Y'all know who Dreamcast guy is, right?
Yeah.
He gave the game a 7. And I understand his opinion about it, but like his whole thing is just like, and I told people like, look, I get it's a tall order asking anybody to play Abby after they killed Joel, because people love Joel and Naughty Dog. God damn it, you're setting up Abby to be possibly one of the most hated video game characters in history. But it is what it is. I sat there like Dreamcast guy basically says like the fucked up thing about this game, which can't sit right with me, is that you have Ellie, who's your main character throughout the game, is searching for some sort of redemption or something like that, or some sort of closure. And she decides at the end of the day to like not kill Abby because it's not worth it. But he says that I didn't see Abby have any sort of redemptive arc. And I've said like, here's where I take issue with that.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
She could have easily let those two Seraphites off to die, but she doesn't.
She allowed Ellie to live twice. She allowed Ellie and Tommy to live twice.
And it was because Lev stopped her too.
Well, of course, the second time, definitely, but still.
Yeah, the second time, the mortal enemies who she's had before is asking her, "Yo, stop," and she's looking at him and like, "Yeah, I can change. I don't have to murder fucking every single person except all those NPCs. Don't worry about that."
And she did it after Ellie systematically killed all of her friends.
And that's not knowing that all her friends attacked Ellie out of fucking spite and got killed for the process. But yeah,
exactly.
Like, first of all, can I ask a question? What the fuck are pregnant women doing on the front lines of this fucking? That's how life is so cheap.
Well, hold on. Because Dina is a fucking ride or die bitch. That's why.
I think he's talking about Mel.
No,
that
fuck,
bitch did
No,
not.
I'm talking
Mel
about
didn't do
Mel.
shit.
I'm talking about Dina. I'm talking about goddamn. If y'all piss on a pregnancy test, stay behind them fucking fences. God damn.
Well, to be fair, Dina didn't know she was pregnant until they were pretty much already there. And then when she like confirmed she was pregnant, she stayed in the fucking theater. She
Yeah,
didn't
she
go out no
did.
more.
She did.
Dude, no.
By her
If
goddamn
Ellie would have
self.
told her, if Ellie wouldn't have told her to stay back, she would have been like, "All right, let's go." She
Oh,
would
that's
have been
because
on it.
Dina a thug.
Dina is a
I don't know,
gangster.
man.
Dina a big
for
nose
one
ass
part,
thug. She can smell the enemies coming.
man, for real, I thought Dina was gonna sit by and just like, baby Ellie, we need to chill. My feet hurt.
No, dude.
God,
Look,
My back getting sore.
I fucks with Dina the whole time throughout the game. I was just like, me and Dina, we cool. I like her a lot. That was just
I didn't mind Dina one bit. I liked Jesse a lot too. And then
Yeah.
he catches a fucking Lenny bullet from Red Dead 2.
ooh, and it was so abrupt. It was so
Yeah.
just like out
Just
of
like
nowhere.
just like old Lenny from Red Dead 2. That shit hurt.
That when that shit happened to
Yeah.
Miguel, I felt bad too because it was really abrupt for him.
You're talking about Manny?
Kang didn't
Manny,
deserve
Fuck
Manny.
that guy. I'm sorry. I wanted to see him get it. When he did it, I laughed hard. I was screaming. I was just like, yo, what about that, pendejo? How about that? And then you see Tommy, and you're sitting here quick time event punching Tommy like, this motherfucking game. Fuck y'all, man.
Oh man.
Real quick, Hazmat,
Fuck
thank
that.
you. I'm surprised that Dina Long Nose didn't. Oh my god! Look, first of all, did you guys see that streamer? There's a girl who's been playing The Last of Us 2, and her stream is called Dina Plays The Last of Us 2. So I go to this and I look at, and I'm like, dude, is she the character model? Like,
Yep. Yeah,
So
her
that
name is
character-
her
she-
name is
she can shit.
yeah, her name is I follow her YouTube or I follow her IG. Her name is Cassina Caradonna. She's an IG model, and she was actually photographed as the person who played Dina.
That's
It's crazy when you-
crazy. It felt surreal, dude, watching that.
Like it's because you just see her do a reaction to the E3 thing where she's like making out with Ellie. She was like, "Oh my god, it's me!" I showed my mom this. She was like, her mind was like blown, but she's like 60. And then later in her channel, like she buys like a PS4 to play The Last of Us.
Yeah,
And
I
then
was watching her stream.
when the credits hit, like then like the credits of the first game hit, she was like, "Oh my god!" Like you could see like where it all comes to her, like the part
Yeah.
she plays. In the
That's pretty
sequel.
cool,
It's
man.
Pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's always really cool watching people who are part of the game play it. Cause like Days Gone, Sam Witwer streamed the whole game. And that dude,
Star Killer, yeah.
yeah, Star Killer, dude. That dude's such a huge nerd, and I cannot help but love him. Like he is so
Yep.
great in everything he's done. And Days Gone, actually, a really good game.
So
I think you
STREAMLABS,
should give
what
it
did
another
you
chance,
think? What did you think about my viewpoint as opposed to where they were going with the ending? Because I actually have to finish explaining it too because I didn't really get a chance to finish. But the person Druckmann or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
His aim at that ending part when Ellie saw the flashback and she stopped drowning the fuck out of Abby.
Yeah.
I thought that decision wasn't linked to the fact that she's just like, oh, revenge is bad. I probably shouldn't do this. But that was her accepting that she needed, in order to forgive Joel for what he did, she needed to forgive Abby because she was a product of what he did.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why people are misconstruing that. It seemed pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I'm like, I don't think it really has a lot to do with Abby per se. Like, she's involved because she's the product of what happened, but I don't think it was her specifically. That flashback was very specific. It was very specific flashback, and it was the exact moment when she told him, like, I can't fucking believe you did this to me, and I'm going to try to forgive you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like in that flashback, it made me seem like the entirety of it, she blamed herself a lot of it too.
Yeah.
So she's not only starting to forgive Joel, she realizes she should probably forgive herself. And Abby, who's a byproduct of both of their shit in the first game, is just that. She's a byproduct, so she doesn't want to kill her either. Especially since she's probably already seen that Abby's let her live twice. And Abby's doing her best to save someone else, so she's probably seeing she's not a terrible person anyway.
You know what? I kind of had a completely different reading on the ending, personally.
Mm.
I looked at it as just like, she ain't gonna, because by that point, I was getting so fed up with Ellie's shit Like she even pulls a switchblade out on Lev. It's just like, you made him a part of this. I was like, you motherfucker. Like,
Right?
and I said that, and it got,
Someone.
and then it kind of got back to like the whole like what I thought the stakes were at the end of the first game,
Mm.
and I juxtaposed it to what the stakes really were at the end of the second game, and I was just like, all you motherfuckers have in this no electricity, internet having fucking world is revenge and killing each other. And by the end of the day, I just felt like she looked like, ain't no matter what the fuck I do, I'm probably not going to find any real easy peace either way.
Mm.
Like, and also she had to deal with the fact that there was like an emaciated little trans boy in the boat who has to witness the only protector he has getting fucking like drowned in the water.
Well, that was another point too. I'm like, let's assume
film.
she did. Let's assume she did kill Abby, and we've known her to be ruthless like that. Let's just say she said, "Fuck it, I'm about to kill this bitch." I don't think she would have just straight up killed Lev in that same way.
No.
We would have had Lev
Like-
as the revenge
No,
protagonist.
exactly.
Lev would have been on your box cover for Last of Us Part 3.
Exactly.
You would have a whole shit ton of people hating, not wanting to play a trans character
Exactly.
in
An actual
2025.
trans character this time.
Yeah.
Did you guys? I don't know if this happened to you guys, but during the fight with Abby at the end there, I was dodging around her
Mhm.
and I saw
Yep.
an outline of a character, and I was like, "Is that the ghost of Joel?" Like watching this fight, so I had to maneuver to get behind it. Lev was just standing up outside the boat watching this fight, not helping at all. And then as the cutscene goes on, he's back in the boat. So I don't know if anybody else
Really?
got that.
No,
bug. Yeah, it was
no.
weird as fuck. I was like, "Is that
I-
like?" Because like in the middle of the fight, I'm dodging around, and I was like, "Was that just a flash of Joel?" Because that would have been kind of cool,
That would've
seeing
been
a flash
eerie,
of Joel in
yeah.
the background. It would make sense. Yeah, it would have been eerie as fuck because it's a foggy beach, right? But no, I
Yeah.
got into the position. I'm sitting there, and it's just Lev standing there, scratching his cheek, looking at us, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?"
Well,
And then he's
okay.
unconscious again, and I'm like, "Oh."
Hazmat says
I
in
will-
the chat, he said again, it's like if John hunt Micah down but didn't shoot him. Well, here's the thing, I don't like that comparison because
No,
Micah
Micah was an irredeemable scumbag.
exactly, and I'm like, that's totally different
And
than
he,
somebody
and he
who
strove to fuck over everybody.
exactly. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's totally
Whereas
different than Abby, who
Abby-
literally just sought out to get her revenge, got it, and then left. Like she could have easily killed.
Yeah.
She could have easily killed Ellie and
Anybody.
Tommy in that room, but she
That's
didn't.
what I That's what I said when I first started the game. When I first picked up Abby in the snowy area, I was like, if Abby kills anybody but Joel, her entire story to me is moot.
Yeah.
And then she didn't, and I was
She
like, cool.
didn't.
I'm on board now. I'm fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now
She had.
she
a target,
should
she
have.
killed the target. She left.
She should
She
have.
kind of should have just put a bullet in and walked away.
She should no.
should
She
not
should have killed all of them. She should have absolutely. I mean, it would have pissed people off, and it would have made sense for the story or whatever. But she absolutely should have killed all of them. Like,
Or she should have at the very least explained why.
well, you know what? I don't think.
Like
when,
if you're gonna leave people to live, you might as well at least explain why.
well, Ellie knew.
Monologue
Well,
a little bit.
I think she understood.
Probably, yeah.
The situation.
Well, eventually she
and,
understood. Yeah, when she got to Seattle and they found out who Abby was.
right, and people got mad
there
at.
was a piece of me where I was just like, she's literally screaming and crying and sobbing for you to stop. This should probably tell her like this is about some shit, but she
Oh,
just
yeah.
sat there and she was just like, I remember 4 years ago where I was screaming, no, fuck it,
That's
let's
why
go.
I didn't like. That's why I didn't like the golf club and the shotgun scene. Like, she should have just put a bullet in him, like he put a bullet in her dad and walked away. It should have been done and done. But no, she had to get all weirdly psychotic about
Well,
it. And then
Man, she
the
blew
only
hammer
Homeboy's kneecap.
The
off.
only reason
Oh,
I
I
understood,
saw that.
listen, the only reason I understood that is because how long she had to fucking wait for it. You know what I mean? I'm
Sure,
like,
sure.
in that instance, I'm like, okay, I understand why she was probably like, this shit has been marinating. You don't get to just make this an instantaneous thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm about to get all this anger out or whatever. But
He was like, I've been having daydreams about this shit through so many campfires, motherfucker. I'm gonna love this shit.
okay,
I'll tell
hands
you
up.
right now, though, I would have hated this game if they made me do the quick time event like how Ellie
Bash
did Nora.
Oh yeah,
I would
yeah.
I would have chucked the controller.
Do you know
if
what?
Abby was holding the golf club and the screen said press X.
I
was like, no.
sat there for 15 minutes, like not pressing anything because I'm like, I'm not about to do this. Like, look, I'm just like, no, this is fucked up. I'm like, don't make me beat Nora with a pipe. Like, why you got to make me do that? And the game's like, nah, press the button, homie. And I'm like, not gonna do it. Like,
I snuck past so many people, did not kill any dogs, did not kill as many people as possible, and I pressed X so goddamn fast on Nora. Fuck that bitch. She took the pipe.
Dude.
Man,
That
you
bitch
know what?
deserved
You was
it.
so funny.
She made her
On
life worse.
On PS5, if you didn't press the square, she was already in a room exposed to spores and shit. Watch that bitch slowly transform into an infected, and then you just have to melee kill her that way.
Yeah, at least taunt her for a while. Fuck, man. Nora was a bitch.
Man,
Fuck
Nora
yeah.
was she put up a good ass fight though. she
put up a good ass.
No,
trap
she went out like a real one. She's like, I ain't giving up my friends. And
I
don't
mean,
bring Joel with them.
I'm gonna taunt you, man.
Fuck
Fucking
him.
do it.
but she
Fuck
did
that bitch.
though. But she did though. She did give away her friend. Remember, she said she made her talk, so she eventually talked after Ellie laid that pipe a couple times.
Yeah.
I think
The
Nora should
African
have said
slave
like,
feet didn't stop her when she was in the
Oh my
explorers.
God.
That's for damn sure.
no, man, Nora should have made it a little bit better. She should have seasoned it with like, fuck that old cis white hetero male.
Oh my God.
And you got to press square.
I ain't gonna lie. I might have pressed
Press square to oppress the black girl. Bink! I'm talking about my man. It's my daddy.
Black
No,
lives matter.
Yeah. Black blood on this pipe matter. Clank.
Yeah, it was
right here. The bants about this game is all the reason why I love that I own this game, even in its most ridiculousness. I was like, I'm so glad I own this shit.
Listen, if they add multiplayer to that shit, I'll buy it. I don't care. Like, I like the story enough. It was about a solid 6 out of 10 storyline, 8 out of 10 gameplay. That's fine. But I like the multiplayer of the first game. It was fire as fuck. And if they work on that, I'll buy it. I don't care.
Dude, I was watching people play the multiplayer. I never like really got into it. I played like a couple games, and I was like, oh, this is interesting.
It was surprisingly good when you had teams. It was fun.
Yeah, it's the barrier for entry for like new players isn't that bad either. Like I sat by you and I got a couple of kills, and I'm terrible at multiplayer games.
Yeah, that shit was a good time. So, do you guys? Because I know one of the popular opinions was that Joel was done dirty. Like just that whole scenario, the way in which it was done. Because a lot of people's like, Joel is out of character. He's not the same person he used to be. And the argument that I put forth was, yeah, he's not. He's not the same person he used to be.
It's been 4 years.
No. Here's what I say. I will say this, right? There's two ways I look upon it. I would say, in universe, I don't think that his memory was done dirty. He had his kneecap blown off and his brain bludgeoned in with a golf club. In this world of The Last of Us, it's literally everyone can die for the littlest of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many fucking I'm just like, you know how many Joel's quote unquote like I'm just saying, you know how many Joel's quote unquote that I killed throughout that game just in combat scenarios?
Mm-hmm.
I look at it just like this. It's vicious. It's fucked up. And I was just like, it wouldn't have hurt or stung bad if it was just a bullet to the head. Man, if you watch so many people doing reactions of the Joel's death thing, you have people literally like crying. I like that whole part where like you're doing that like sprinting through the snow blizzard section.
Yeah, you're getting up close, you can hear the groans and shit. Yeah,
and then you run into Joel and Tommy. I had the biggest cold chill over my back because I was like, oh no, they're gonna make me. Fuck you, Gabe. I hate you so much. I don't want to do this anymore. No, I got sick to my stomach because I told you, I saw all the leaks, and I was like, is that how you're gonna do it? Because I got the recency of playing Last of Us Part 1 in my head just a few days before, and it was very eerie to the point in Part 1 where you play as Ellie and you bump into David the cannibal. Very same way. Like you bump into him in the middle of the snow and you're held up in a building where like infected are just crawling throughout the windows. And I was just like, give credit to Naughty Dog. I think that was a hell of a callback that I don't think people like were paying attention to. I was like, that's a good callback to the first game. The only thing I wish I would have changed is I wish there was a small section of the game where you could play as Joel one last time going out on that patrol with Tommy. That would have been sweet.
I think that would have made the blow a little worse for some people, especially considering the fact that like One of the interesting parts was like dealing with the inventories of the two characters and remembering that they weren't the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And going through. And there were some weird sections, like really small sections, like one in particular when Ellie was younger, where you collect stuff like bullets and all that shit. And you like, I'm not gonna use any of this. What is going on here? I think it would have been. I think people would have been like, "Oh fuck!" Like I'm doing all this shit. I'm making progress with Joel, and they just kill him off. That probably would have made people much more upset because that would have created the illusion, like I'm gonna be playing with Joel, and they're like, "Nope, he's dead."
I'd have been happier if they actually did Joel a little bit dirtier. You know, like those flashback scenes with Ellie and Joel when they're going to the museum. You're having a good time. Like when they should have made you fall in love with Joel and Ellie's relationship more before they took him out.
Oh, before they did?
Because,
no.
Yeah, they should have. They should have. If you're gonna take Joel out and make it hurt, make it fucking hurt. You know?
Trust me. I saw the leaks, and when I saw it,
so did I. Yeah.
Big home theater screen.
It was a bummer.
4K TV. I was next to my missus, and we sat there, and I was just like, I don't want to play this anymore. But I went ahead and unplugged it, and when you finally hear that one swing of the golf club, I just looked at her, and you hear that deafening ringing sound, and you just see like the next moment, Ellie is just in her barracks, just looking stoned. And I sat there, and I was like my missus said, like I had the same look on my face. And I was just like, where do I even go from here?
You know what?
Look.
For me, because I was very upset with Joel at the end of the first game, I was really pissed off because it is of my opinion that Joel should have made Ellie a part of that decision. And I know there's
Firefly should have also made her a part of that
exactly. Well, they
both fucked her over.
Yeah, of course. And you know what? I think Marlene would have been in on it. Like if they would have said like we need to, and they would have worked together to do that. I think they could have convinced the surgeon or whatever. But that didn't happen. Fine. But I'm like,
that surgeon was super into killing Ellie though. He was real happy about it.
Yeah, it was just the way.
What if it was your daughter?
Yeah, the way that he was acting.
When he no-sells it.
The way that he was acting towards her, especially that time when they were in the hotel and she brought it up and he came at her like, you want to dredge up some old shit now? And I'm just like, you motherfucker. How dare you talk to her like that when you've been lying to her face for like 6 years? Fuck you. Yeah. So when he got killed for me, like when the final hit was done and he got killed for me, there was this immediate like split second of like, oh, fuck, dude, Joel. And then right after that, I was just like, that's what the fuck you get.
See, that's why I feel like they should have shown off more of the community, the 4 years that have been in between, Yeah. You should have made us like Joel again. Because he's had 4 years of being mostly community-driven, docile. This is why I let my guard down, because I've been living with the community and we accept people back and forth. People were saying like, oh, this is out of Joel's character. It's out of Joel Last of Us 1's character. Because this was 2 days after he got done with Last of Us 1. He wouldn't have set up at all. He would have been on guard all day. But it's been 4 years of him playing guitar and drinking coffee.
Minimum of 4 years. Minimum.
I will say this. I did expect to have a bit more of a bloated beginning.
Yeah, I was hoping for it.
To like the town of Jackson, because
I felt that when that are gonna either die or I have to travel with more.
And I was like, I remember that because I had callbacks to like taking off to play Uncharted 4 when that launched a few years back. Mm-hmm. That had a pretty meaty prologue to it.
Oh yeah.
Like before you even start, like you do underwater diving for your job and shit like that in that game.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I expected to do a couple of like horse breaking missions, feeding some stables or some shit like
a couple
that.
Patrols here and there.
We have a snowball fight and bigot sandwiches. I was like, I hope we were gonna get more.
No,
I wanted something like in Uncharted 4, because like that black dude who owned the salvage company on Uncharted 4, he was cool. And then you don't see him the entire game. Then you see him at the end. You're like, oh, this guy, he's an old friend. I love this guy. He's great. I wanted something like that. But we got bigots and Liu Kang. And I like Liu Kang. Don't get me wrong. He got done dirty.
He was cool as fuck, man.
Dude, I swear he had to have been voiced by a black guy. He was too cool.
He was cool as a motherfucking cucumber. That motherfucker was cool as hell.
That dude was great. He had a mullet and he was ride or die. He's like, you should have told me you were coming. I would have come out here. I had to sneak out by my damn self, come cross country. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And then he catches the bullet in the cheek. Like,
you know what's really? I will say one of the funniest things was I kept telling I probably like there was more dialogue and plot points in the game, like where I admittedly eye rolled like visibly hard, like sitting next to my fiance, and I was just like, you know what, this is actually talking about like the survival aspect of living in this world. This is where it's at its best. The flashbacks are where it's at its best. Mm-hmm. When they start hearing all life is strange with like their relationship issues, I'm just like, motherfuckers, y'all got pressing issues at hand. Yeah. Like they were in the weed basement just chilling out, right? And I was just like, watch, they're gonna turn around and get some freaknik music. They're gonna start fucking in the den. And my fiance looked at me and was like, "Why do you have to be so gross? You're such a pig." I was like, "Babe, I was joking." Not 30 seconds later, that's what the fuck happened. I'm like, wow.
Hazmat, real quick. I would love to see Joel Dice. I would love to see Joel Dice the same way like his daughter, but it's just me.
Damn. You wanted her to catch a straight bullet on accident? Well, not really on accident.
Cry in someone's arms.
I mean, Ellie was crying on the floor real bad when he got his brains driven across the room.
Them wolves didn't even throw her in the other room. They just said, "Nah, bitch, you gonna look. Yeah. I want this to stew, and I want you to remember our faces so you can."
And then we're gonna let you go.
So bad.
Yeah, I was a man.
Because when you see my face again, you know it ain't gonna be pretty.
Well, what really killed me though is how not alert they were about first off bringing him there in the first place, which because they were all in the room, nobody was guarding the door. She shouldn't have even been able to get in there. Period. So that was like the first thing that puzzled me. But then afterwards, they're like, "All right, we did it. We can all go home and not worry about nothing." I'm just like, "What? No, that's not."
To be fair, I assume they thought that nobody would know who they were or where they came from, even though they were wearing their fucking varsity jackets.
You know what would have helped us if Ellie just didn't say, "Joel, fucking get up." She should have just went full in 9 inches deep with the role play. "Dad, come on, Dad,
yeah,
Dad."
Let him hear it before he dies, and then watch fucking Abby hopefully have flashbacks.
He's got cancer.
Yeah. That little kid, like the fucking Owen guy, was just like, "Abby, what do you think she meant by dad?" Like, what the fuck?
It'd be a little bit like that scene from Heavy Rain when you break into that dude's apartment, and he's like, "Please, I'm a father, don't kill me." And then Ethan's like, "I'm a father too," and just blows his fucking head off. And you're like, "Oh,
dude, look, hands up, everybody in the chat, anybody who played the game, who all went?" Because I probably went the first 8 hours of the game thinking that Abby was the trans character that everybody was talking about in the game. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't think she was. I just thought she was built like a fucking shithouse, and she had a face like a brick.
Dude,
like,
I'm
not
looking
at her character model, and I was like, she's too big. Like, I don't mind her character. She can be trans as fuck as she wants, but like, she just looks weird.
I thought she was, dude. I genuinely thought that she was.
No, I wouldn't have been shocked if she was, but I didn't actually think she was.
Bro, but what fucked me up, man, is she has pectorals and titties.
I know.
Kind of.
Like, and I'm telling you right now, as a man who was once 500 fucking pounds and I've like put on a lot of muscle, yeah, it looks all types of fucked up.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, and that's what when we were first talking about it on the show, and everybody was like criticizing the scene, the sex scene or whatever. I think it was like a day before it came out. Everybody's like, "Dude, it's just a trans sex scene. It's fine." Like that's what everybody was talking about, and I was convinced, dude. Until, as a matter of fact, Lev's sister made that little statement that kind of told you that, you know, he was like, at first I was confused when he told me how he felt inside, and I was like, wait a minute. Like, hold on.
When they were calling him Lily, when they were trying to shoot at him, that's when I was like, oh yeah,
okay,
hey Lily,
yeah, I get it. Hey Lily, I was like,
dude, it didn't even click
she's
then.
The apostate killer.
It didn't even click then for me.
Well, you danced.
Oh no! I was like I said, my sympathies lied with Lev and Yara. Like when Yara was sitting there.
You can't really hate Lev. He was cool.
Like when Yara was telling him, it's just like she really wants his like he wants his mother to like come with them and you have to go back and do that mission. And when you go back and find out like Lev had to fucking murk his own mom, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah,
Like, that was hard. I was like, oof. That sucks, man.
And people were complaining about the quote unquote trans character problem in the game, you know, and like people were assuming it's Abby, but a lot of people were bitching that it was Lev too, and I'm just like, why? Lev was done okay, it was fine. Like,
Yeah,
they grew up in a fucking religious cult.
yeah.
The sister talks about it, and it's like, yeah, when Lev finally told me about it, I told him to hide it, which a lot of people did back in the 90s and 80s and all that shit. Like, you would hide it.
She was going to be
in this cult.
He was going to be
killed.
Yeah, he was also told like he was like going to be a 13-year-old like
child bride
like
to an elder,
bride,
and he didn't want that. So when Lev shaved his head, and then Yara's like, I got mad, I yelled at him, I hit him, and then I realized that was wrong, and we had to get out of there. That's all progress. Like she had the reaction that a person in a cult probably would have had, and Lev still held on to his parent that he wanted to make understand him, and then it just didn't work because she was so devout and.
I still haven't accepted the fact that Lev chose to go back yet, because like that part, I'm like, he knew. There's no fucking way that he thought that there was any chance that she was going to not try to kill him when he went home.
Sure,
I'm like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
13-year-old kid, confused as fuck, living in this kind of world. You probably want to hang on to the family you got.
I will say when that
almost lose your sister to a fucking hammer.
Yeah.
When that cutscene happened, when you see that speedboat go off, I was like, "Fuck, another mission."
Yeah, I was like, that little bastard.
But I will say of all the secondary characters that died after Yara gets lit up after
she went out like a G, dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
I was like, she went out like a G, but I had so many I was mixed with emotions for that because
I kind of wish you would have popped Isaac in the head, not just the shoulder, though, because now we're gonna have to see Isaac in The Last of Us 3.
Mm-hmm.
Did he die? I thought he died.
No, I think he took one in the shoulder and he fell, and then the entire hood popped off.
If they didn't show him literally not breathing, then he ain't dead.
Yeah,
we
didn't get a close up on a bullet coming out of his cheek.
All right.
There was also something I kind of had a problem with, like that whole part of the storyline too. I was just like, guys, Naughty Dog, for every time in the game where I have to go and unlock a door and I have to find another fucking way around instead, devote another half an hour to do that, you could have given me more story about the background of the scars and the wolves, because I wanted when the full scale war was happening, I wanted so much to know about why it was all happening. Like there was a part where like in the game where I think Abby or another character just says Isaac wants to end the bloodshed. And I was like, "Wow, I'd like to know really about this Isaac character."
Well, yeah, as you were riding through there, you really felt disconnected from it. I really felt like a bystander, and I know it wasn't really my war or whatever, but like a lot of the stuff that got set in motion was largely Ellie and a combination of Ellie and Abby's fault. But when you were riding through there, I'm just like, "Excuse me, pardon me, I'm just coming through. I don't know any of you motherfuckers, and I don't care. I'm just trying to get home."
I really
drive by on a horse real quick.
I really loved that set piece, but
it was cool. It was a cool set
piece.
It
looked fantastic. And then you had to fight fucking Megatron with his pickaxe at the end. Like that guy was fucking huge.
I don't know what.
Like, how you gonna have a motherfucker so big just eating venison and vegetables? Fuck out of here.
Yeah, and
I was 7'6", had half of his face ripped off.
And Abby fucking killed him.
Oh well, yeah.
Because she ate
times.
1 pound more horse meat than he did.
Right, dude. She found one more bottle of anabolic steroids than that motherfucker did.
Yep. She found.
Also, I don't know if y'all noticed, but it killed me. Because like playing as Ellie, you play this long stretch, you go over multiple places, and you find crafting supplies and stuff. But when I picked up Abby again, I noticed that I got a shitload more supplements right off the end, and it made me laugh really hard. That this bitch was getting tons of pills just front loaded to her, and I was like, that's why she's big. That's why she's big right there.
After every boss fight, it's like, listen, Abby, can we take a sample of your pee? Like, I know we got shit to do. You're trying to go to Santa Barbara.
girl pissing uranium and shit. Like she was so big. There was the scene when Manny goes to get her from her like little studio box, and she's sitting on her bed looking through her stuff. And I paused the game and I looked at it and I was like, why the fuck is Abby in the background got bigger arms than Manny in the foreground?
I'm telling you, man. There was some scenes where she was like,
have them big arms when I'm telling you right now, that breakup between her and Owen must have been something fierce because you can't binge eat in the world of the post-apocalyptic thing where you have to ration. She was probably binge exercising. That's how hard her heartbreak was.
I mean, she overpowered Owen so quick during that sex scene too, and it was like, God.
No, she was just like, listen, baby, I want to get with this nice bitch named Mel because she's a brunette and she's a bit more stuck up and she doesn't have a chin.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk anymore. Abby's all heartbroken. Her dad got
real quick.
Her dad got murked. Yeah.
Hazmat Sad Boy, thank you for the donation. WLF versus Seraphites for multiplayer. Probably.
It makes sense, yeah.
That'd probably be and then you'll get like the special characters as like special unlockables or something.
Yeah, unlock Megatron.
Yeah, fucking Manny, like Manny has like
he's still got the hole in his head.
Yeah, his whole entire cheek is torn up, and he's just like, I survived somehow. I'm like, all right, homie, shit. Also, who felt really good when Manny caught that bullet? That was great. They're like, oh, we should go around. We should go around. And then, of course, a smart person doubles back and just pops his head off. I was like, yeah, that's some Tommy.
You know how stupid? Did you guys know right off bat? Did you guys know right off bat that was Tommy? Because it took me a while to figure that out.
Nope.
I knew it right off the bat because they're like,
I thought it was going to be another Sarah
fight.
Because
they were during the Ellie bit. They're like, yeah, we got this sniper and all that stuff, and then Jesse goes off to help Tommy get out of the position that he was in while sniping everybody. And so when they're like, "Oh, we got this crazy sniper, he's super good," I was like, "Yeah, that's Tommy."
Nah,
man, fucking people up.
As a matter, until I got to the bridge, I didn't realize. Like until I actually caught up, and I was like, "Wait a minute, is that Tommy?" But it didn't click for me. I'm like, so one of these. I just pictured some fucking robed dude with a hood on up there.
Yeah,
like,
but you also didn't notice that all these robed guys calling somebody Lily when it's just a room full of Abby and Lev. You're like, I don't know who that could be. That's crazy.
It didn't click for me. I don't
Kill that bitch. She's an apostate. I'm not an apostate. I'm a wolf. Who could this be talking about? I'm Statue. I don't get the fucking obvious. Like, come on, man.
Dude. I was oblivious.
Just fucking Abby just comes and rips out your fucking throat.
No, I will tell you what though, because you guys talked about your emotions when what's her face got killed or whatever. The first thing I thought, and I'm probably a bastard for this, but when the chick when Lev's sister or whatever got lit up after she shot her, the first thing that went through the first thing that went through my mind was, God damn it, I wasted all that time going to that fucking hospital.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Like, am I an asshole for that? Because that was the first thing I thought. He's like, do you know what I had to do? I was fucking 1,000 feet in the air on a fucking rickety ass goddamn. Like that.
13-year-old punking me out as he dances across this fucking rickety ass crane bridge.
I did like the philosophy that the Seraphites kind of went through when it comes to facing fear. Like, I thought that was very interesting. Did you guys?
Yeah. It felt pretty good too because I have a panic disorder and an anxiety disorder, so it kind of hit a little bit closer to home there. I was like, you know what, that's a good saying. I dig that.
Yeah,
that's
because I never thought about that
when
before.
When you have to face your fears when you do stuff. Yeah.
Think about all the good things, and I'm like, good things. I'm terrified, and it's like, no, but your heart rate's doing this, and you're more alert. Like these are all positives, and I'm like, fuck.
And it's actually something you have to do. Like,
yeah,
because I would get hardcore panic attacks to the point where if I stepped outside my house, I would have a panic attack, right? And that's hard to do. It's hard to get. So when you have to push through that, you have to figure out ways to switch it up a little bit in your brain. And so for years, that's kind of what I had to do. And then they just put it into like a quick 2-line thing. And I was like, you know what? That makes sense. That's fair. That's fine. I'm cool with that. And I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you know, they have child rides and want to murder training kids. So it's kind of weird.
Well, it was funny because she was extremely dismissive to just like the general teachings of the Seraphites, and she kept calling them scabs or whatever because, you know, scars. and he kept, or scars. Why, dude, even
these goddamn scabs are taking all our jobs.
I was
cross that picket line, you son of a bitch! I dare you.
Squishy was watching me. She was watching me play the game, and I said every time they said scars, I said scabs, to the point to where every time Lev was correcting her, Squishy was correcting me. And I'm just like,
Yeah. I think I had the same thought. Like I thought Scab at one point too, and I was like, that's not right. And then I had to switch it up, and I was like,
it just
it's
rolls
Scar.
off the tongue better.
It does. And every time they said Scar, I thought of fucking Lion King, and I was like, that's stupid.
That's stupid.
Stupid.
No, but I thought it was cool.
Sorry, man. I don't mean to cut you guys off, but I had to like jet because like it's like almost like it's like 5 o'clock. I kind of had some stuff to do at 5:30.
No, it's cool.
Like,
I didn't plan on streaming that long anyway.
No, that's cool, man. I actually like talking to you guys about this shit because like even while I had a lot of fun with this game, I feel like the meme culture with this game is so infamous. I'd be damned to turn it back into GameStop. Like, I want to have the memories for this. And it's fucking awesome. Even it's not perfect. It may not be a masterpiece, but damn it, it's fun worth talking to. Disagree or agree. Either way. But yeah, I'm about to dip out, man. It's cool talking to you guys, though.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, man.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Later, dude. All right, so Stun, you saw my videos, right?
I did not see the ending video that you sent me today because I just woke up like 2 minutes before I jumped in here.
Okay, well that was the explanation I was given earlier on. Just the reason in which I thought they went in the direction they went. I don't think it was reasonable for her not to kill her at that point. I think she probably still should have. Like, I think it would have made more sense if she would have did that and then came to the realization. Because I think it would have been more impactful if after she killed her, she realized, like, I don't feel any fucking different. So yes, this was a waste of time. Like, it probably would have made more sense.
Both ways.
Yeah,
and I like the idea of Abby still living just because we'll get a Last of Us 3. Because people bitch about Abby a lot. I liked Abby. I really
liked Abby.
When you see it from Abby's perspective, like at the beginning of the game, you're like, oh, Abby's a piece of shit. These two people just saved her life, and she does them as rough as she does Joel. I still think she should have just put a bullet in Joel and left him. But then we wouldn't have the whole, oh, Ellie saw everything and now it's all blah, blah, blah. You could have just put it off. Like, I don't know. In my revenge story, it's kind of like Princess Bride, you know? You kill the man and you're done.
Yeah, I mean, I think after he saved her, she didn't have to go as hard as she did.
Yeah,
you know?
She should have realized, oh, he's not complete shit, maybe. But, like, I get it. I'm fine with it. I still think they should have front loaded the game with fucking here's Joel, here love him again, let's kill him off. Because I didn't feel too bad about it. You know?
Me neither.
Like I was like, oh, that's rough. I like Joel, he's cool, but like he did kill her dad.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? That was the biggest inconsistency that I kept arguing with people about when I kept getting in conversations. They're like, "Oh, this, it's bullshit. She shouldn't have did that because he saved her or whatever." And I'm like, okay, so you think that she shouldn't have gotten her revenge, but you're upset because Ellie didn't. Like, yeah. Wait a minute, that don't make sense.
That's why I'm fine with Ellie letting her go because she let her go twice at this point. Abby didn't want that smoke. Like,
she really didn't.
Clearly didn't.
She really didn't.
Yeah.
And she that Ellie's whole time.
Fucking chimney factory trying to get all the smoke, and I'm just like, come on, Ellie, stop. Go hang out with your baby daddy.
Yeah, what people don't realize is that whole time that Abby was having all these side adventures and shit, she had no idea that most of her friends were just being executed one by one.
Most of her friends would fuck up and attack a bitch with a knife. Whatever. That Asian girl who was playing the Vita, man, fuck that bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Ellie was going to tie her up or some shit, and she's like, no, I got to pull the knife. And then Ellie's like, that was stupid. Why'd you do that?
It was so dumb. Like, dude, she was the only person there. She
didn't. The only person there.
She didn't hear or see Ellie show up, so she had to know like this person is good. I'm just like, did you just want to die?
She had headphones in while she was playing her fucking DDR game.
I'm just like, oh my god, that was such a bad idea.
Why did you attack her? What a dumbass! And then pregnant girl, let's jump the girl with a knife after she shot your homie. That's dumb. You have a baby to think about. What are you doing, crazy ass? Don't do that.
I mean, it was her baby daddy, so,
I guess, but like the only person I felt bad about dying when all these friends attacked fucking Ellie was the dog, yo. Like, that dog was doing his job. He don't know no different. Someone was breaking into his house and he had a squeak toy. She did not deserve to go out that way. Everybody else physically either rushed Ellie or just tried to fuck off. like Nora deserved it. That bitch can go. But
why you fucking hate on Nora, man?
That bitch deserved it.
I love
Like, how you gonna rub salt in the wound when you already dead, bitch? Leave me alone.
Nora was a
What I
gangster.
wanted more of the game though was more infected. The infected weren't there enough. Like,
You know what?
oh, we got
Yeah.
some strays here and there.
Yeah.
When that fucking Transformer one showed up in the bottom of the hospital, I was stoked. I was like, that thing is legit. What the hell's behind that? And then you come back and he's Sephiroth off the doors and there's a blood trail leading around. I was
Oh
like,
my
fuck.
god,
Is
dude,
he
that
about
was
to fuck up
that was
Genova?
genuinely scary. Like,
Yeah, it was weird when that thing shows up when you're in
Yeah.
the ambulance. I was like, yo, that thing's cool.
Yeah,
That's a
that
weird
was awesome.
Outlast monster. And I'm
You know
into
what
it.
though? I fucking hate the stalkers though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, they're dumb. I don't like them.
I
They're stupid.
cannot stand
I liked them the first time,
fucking
and then the rest of the time I
stalkers.
saw them, I was like, eh, whatever.
No.
Because like I when I heard them one time, and Ellie's like, oh, these things are quiet, and I snuck around and I came up behind one and I didn't see it with listen mode. I was like, that's legit. I like that. And then that was about it. And I
Yeah,
was like,
the
okay.
fact that you couldn't see them in listen mode, and sometimes they would just like it seemed like they were teleporting sometimes. Like,
yeah, and they could tank hits like nobody's business.
man, that shit was ridiculous. I could not stand them. Their attack animations were really wonky sometimes, to where sometimes their defensive moves look like attacks and vice versa.
Yeah, I didn't like that when you would attack something with a weapon and then it would just tank it and attack, and you have to use the dodge button.
Well,
I was fine with the dodge button. I liked it, but like when they make me do it because something could just power through, I was like, come on, man.
Well, that was my criticism in my spoiler-free review when I said it feels less like a mechanic and more like a cheap quick time event. You know what I mean?
And I wanted more world puzzles. Like the ropes were cool, but I needed more rope. Like we didn't have nearly enough box puzzles. It was like, hey, move this dumpster 10 feet. I wanted like the world's fucked. Give me some shit to.
I did like the throw the power cable over the fence thing like that. Yeah, that I figured out pretty quickly. And then the dumpster in the room with the little incline.
Yeah, and you got to roll it. Yeah,
yeah,
that was
like
something from the first game. I think we had a rolling dumpster in that one too.
Yeah, I was like, that was pretty cool.
I was like, that's cool. Give me that, but give me some more shit. You know.
I feel like for a 20 plus hour game though, they could have spent a little more time. Really
thickening up the world a little bit, because like in that first area when it was like Uncharted: The Lost Legacy and you're in the area and you get to like go around with the map and pick up hidden stuff, I was like, that's cool. That feels like, you know, Uncharted: Lost Legacy, which was just Uncharted but kind of pseudo open world. I was like,
it was kind of a like, hey, we can do this too, we just choose not to, you know.
yeah, you know, like, oh, okay. If Last of Us 3 isn't like semi open world, I'm gonna be a little bummed out, won't lie.
You know
I'm
what?
fine with linear shit, but I want more stuff in this world to do. I want more survivors that aren't part of Opposition A and Opposition B. You know, like the two black guys from the first one. They were cool. They were just there. They were trying to pass through. Like other people are alive. It's not just these two factions and stuff. And like I kind of want more interactivity with worlds.
If they did give it kind of a Red Dead open world feel, well, where some of the stuff, like everything you had to do, like side quest and just busy work stuff, was connected to Jackson. So finding survivors and bringing them back for to get you more resources and stuff like that or whatever. You know, bringing people out on certain different expeditions and stuff to clear out places that haven't been. Like I thought it was very interesting lore wise when Abby got to the when she got to the hospital and she was talking to the people right outside the hospital, and they were like she was like, how much have you guys cleared out yet? And they're like, no, we're just knocking out floor by floor. You know, I'm like, that would be cool as fuck.
Yeah, let me do some shit.
Yeah, I'm like, that would have been
help
sweet.
The world, but no, revenge story. Gotta do it.
So there was a lot. I think there was a lot that this game kind of left on the table.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was fine. Yeah, that is my reaction to this whole thing. When I was done and I sat back or whatever, it was almost like eating food that's not good for you. You know what I mean? You just lay back here like, God damn, I am full. I'm happy. I probably could have eaten something significantly better, but you know what? I'm good.
It's gonna fuck me up just a little bit. It'll be fine.
Right? Like, I'm good. Like whatever.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll feel better later. Like,
yeah, just don't think about it. You'll be good. What's up, Corey? Yeah, I had fun.
First, we all saw it.
I had fun, dude. I had fun with the game.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
It ain't terrible, and it ain't a masterpiece either.
It doesn't. Yeah, it didn't need to be. Like, I don't know.
I just
Fucking
wish
Ghost of Tsushima better be dope as fuck though.
I just wish people would because like I said, when I was talking to Mikey earlier, I was saying like a lot of people were so upset with just the journalist media or the devs and people who were saying all this stuff when they were coming out and saying this stuff. They were like, if they say it's excellent, then by default I have to say it's terrible. Like I don't care. It don't matter how I really feel about the game. It has to be garbage because they said it was amazing. And I'm just like, it don't have to be that way. Like,
yeah, like if you looked at all the leaks and listened to the shit that was said and you chose not to like it, that's fine.
Yeah,
those were taken vastly out of context now that you've seen the context.
Exactly.
But it's fine. You can be upset with something in anything and you're fine. But like the fact that it was memed to hell to like, hey, we should hate this game. We gotta do it. We gotta hate it. We gotta hate it for the culture. And I'm just like, dude, it's fine. Like it might not be for you. You lost your character that you loved from the first game. It happens. Characters die. And it's just like the story goes on. It was never about Joel. It was about Joel and Ellie, and it was still about Joel and Ellie in the sense of it. But then like now you have Abby and her friends, Abby and Leave. Like other people are doing shit. Consequences matter. The cycle of violence thing was kind of stupid, but like the fact that they all broke the cycle of violence, and even though they were beating the shit out of each other at the end, like you could tell they had some kind of agreement to be like, yeah, I think we're cool now.
Yeah,
which is why I think in Last of Us 3 it's going to be Abby coming back because they found a way to cure something other.
Of course, it'd be extremely unusual if they had another Last of Us and she was not a part of it. Like that.
Yeah, because she's so far the only confirmed. Immune people. Like in the first game, you have hints like, oh, we tried experiments with other people and blah blah blah, and they all failed. It's like, but we never got hard confirmation that those other people were also immune, even in those notes that you read.
Yeah, there wasn't anything very solid,
concrete.
About it.
I'm just like, that's cool. And then we'll get fucking badass Lev with a hood on, probably being fucking stealthy as fuck. Hopefully he gets punched in Last of Us 3. I'm gonna be real stoked if that's a theme that happens.
He just gets punched in every game from now on.
Punched in every game, and it's got to be better than the last one, which I don't know how you're gonna do.
How do you top that?
Garage doors just laying around. I want Lev's revenge, where he just kicks a garage door one time because he's mad.
You should have moved out the way. You saw me get. You
should have lifted up. You piece of shit. You all saw it. My face hurt for weeks.
Oh my god. Yeah, you know what? Like I said, at the end of the day, when it was all said and done and the credits was rolling, I felt like I got my money's worth, so I wasn't really tripping, And then I went to other people's videos because I told you I stayed away from everything spoiler. I didn't see nothing. So when I played it and I came out of it, I was just like, I got this sigh of relief because I'm like, now I can go look at other people's opinions. Now I can start talking to other people about it. So I did, and I went to this one person's channel in particular, and I was in their chat, and people were giving all their different opinions. But he had the person in question had this really negative, "fuck you, this game is garbage" demeanor, So a lot of his audience were kind of on board with that. So I just went in and I was just like, they're like, oh, Ellie got nothing and Abby got everything. This game was a fuck you to Ellie. And I'm just like,
Ellie got a lot of stuff.
I'm just like, well, I kind of disagree. And this is why. And they're like, oh, look, another fucking retard drinking the Kool-Aid. And I'm just like, why? Why does it have to be like that? Like, why's
it gotta be so angry? Just because I didn't realize that they were calling Lily. Whatever. I'm not a retard.
And I'm just like, don't make me feel like there's justification to the whole gamers are trash thing. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to be on that train. It's not a fun train. But I'm just like.
So Hazmat saying that Last of Us 3 should have neither Ellie or Abby, and I'm just wondering how you would. What story would matter at this point if you didn't do Abby or Ellie in it? Like, I get that you can have like a complete side story character, but I'm just wondering what you would do because like Ellie is the quote unquote last hope of humanity. I just wonder what story you would do if it wasn't about Ellie.
Yeah, that's actually a good question.
Gone hard in. Like,
maybe they would.
Why would I care?
But maybe they would just create another. They just like, oh well, there are more immune people
person
out there. Yeah.
Turns out that other guy was immune too. Fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who was immune? Fucking Fat Geralt when he punched Lev.
Fucking Lev's sister was immune. Oh shit.
Yeah. Go find her body.
Well, she's in a puddle now, so.
God, dude, she got the equivalent of like in a night movie when all the soldiers just spear somebody at once. Dude, it's just so good. She died real great.
You know what? If
Like,
they,
what a homie.
I wouldn't be upset if they made a game of that was a different title. Like it didn't have the Last of Us name, but it was in the universe, and it was in like Hazmat said, is it only America that's been affected? Like it took place in another country.
The whole world has to be infected. Like if America was infected to the point where it is,
Yeah.
other people would come in to stop it. The whole world has to be kind of fucked.
Right.
Especially since it's spores and they travel on the wind and people's clothes and all the air travel and stuff that we have. Like the spore, yeah, it seems like the spores live a lot longer than just like a viral infection. So yeah, it's got to be everywhere.
I wish a lot more games did that though. Like where
branched out.
Yeah, and just made something with a completely different name that's set in the same universe. And just have like little Easter eggs and shit in it to reference the other games and all that good stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that if they did it, but since they went hard in on Ellie for part 2, they probably have to do part 3 with her too, because now it's a trilogy.
South America accidentally sent those infected coffee beans.
They got it out of a mushroom-infected cat's ass. Like, we got that new fucking coffee dog. Tastes a little nutty like some mushrooms, and you're like, okay, cool. All the hipsters and fucking.
It's got that tangy zip.
Turn first.
Oh my god.
It's moist up here, yo. Like that mushroom's gonna fucking cultivate.
I think we covered most of what we needed to cover, though.
Probably.
I was fairly happy. Like I said, I'm not upset that I own it. It was sad though, like the ending, that realization that she couldn't play the guitar anymore was like the part that really.
Can play the guitar again. Fuck off. Flip it to the left side, bitch. Def Leppard's dude fucking plays the drums with one arm. Fucking figure it out. You got nothing but time. She will figure out how to play the guitar again. It'll be fine. Just get a pick and strum with your 2 fingers. Quit being a bitch about it. And she wasn't sad about it. It didn't look like.
No,
she
it
started
just
to be sad. Got the flashback, and then she's like, "Okay, well, I guess I better go find my friends."
Yeah, she's like, "Well, that sucks."
That's what I got from that. Oh well, fuck, that's gonna take some time. Dude, and then she just leaves, and you're like, "Okay, she's going off to find Dinah or find, Tommy to yell at him."
Cryptic says, "What is this game? This is the Stunlock and Satsu game,
right? It'll devolve into weeb shit eventually."
Oh shit! Now, I got some Korean fried chicken waiting on me. I'm about to go smash that shit because I just made that for Squishy. But yeah, man, I don't think it was a bad game all in all. I'm glad I got a chance to experience it. I had a pretty good time playing it. And like I said, one thing I wanted to really put forth is like, if you didn't like it, that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. You don't have to like the game.
It's a game, dog. It's a media. You just indulge it, like it or not. It's fine. I've seen terrible ass movies that I don't like and I don't want to talk about anymore. Pretty much anything with Will Ferrell. And I'm just like, it's fine. You can like it. He sucks, but you can like it.
You hate everything with Will Ferrell in it?
Every goddamn thing with Will Ferrell can go to hell. I've never found that dude funny.
You know what's really funny?
His face looks annoying.
Hazmat keeps talking about Death Stranding. I actually I didn't buy Death Stranding because I just when I looked at all the stuff that it presented, I wasn't very interested in the story. And I was just like, this is gonna be boring as fuck for me. So I didn't get it. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna do what I usually do. I'm going to watch the story. You know, I went up and looked up one of those YouTube videos or whatever. And about 3 hours in of watching the story, I paused the video and I sat for a second. I was like, I have no fucking idea what's going on right now.
So, listen, Death Stranding is Kojima without his power limiters on.
Exactly.
And it's okay. If you like Kojima, and you know that you're going into a game where Kojima is just fucking God King Super Beast, it's okay. That game is surprisingly fun for the amount of tedious bullshit you're doing. When you have a full backpack of shit and you're trying to climb a mountain at the same time just for the fuck of it, I was having a great time. I haven't finished it yet because, like you said, it's a lot of talking about shit I don't understand.
Well, yeah, and you know
I'm
what?
okay with that.
That's what a lot of people say about me and Monster Hunter. Like,
Yeah, like,
you know,
I can understand Monster Hunter, but like I don't play it all that often.
Yeah, they're just
I
like
don't like
it's a tedious mess. Fuck that game, and I'm like, but I love it.
Yeah, like I enjoyed Death Stranding. It's stupid as fuck. There's a lot of dumb shit in it, and it's fantastic, and I like it, and it's fine. You don't have nobody else has to like it because as long as I do, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
It's stupid, and I like it. And like the connections and stuff. I spent fucking 30 hours of that game not doing the story and just building highways like a fucking idiot. And then like when I finally started to do the stories, I was like, man, I'm really glad I made these highways as I'm driving down the fucking road, like super happy. Like, why does this make me happy? And then they introduced zip lines, and I'm like, well, fuck, now I got to make a zip line system.
Now
So
I
I
gotta
zip
make a
lined
fucking
over
sky
this whole
system.
fucking mountain, and I'm like, wow, this is better than the highway.
Oh
I was
my
just
God.
like, cool. This game's stupid. I love it.
Here's the thing. When I started watching people play the game and stopped watching the cutscenes for it, I'm like, okay, now I'm seeing the appeal here. And I understand why people like it, because I can see how this type of stuff, even though it looks tedious from the sidelines, like how you can get really invested in what's going on here if you know, you're really trying to make some shit happen. But I was just like, still ain't for me though. Like, that's fine.
It doesn't have to be. It's a weird game, and it's fine. And if Kojima makes a fucking horror game like he's planning on it, I'm gonna be really
dude,
happy.
I still got PT on my PlayStation because I'm just hoping.
So did I.
Him
and Guillermo del Toro put some magic in there, and I was like, I want more of that. You know.
Hell yeah, dude. We don't. There are no sensory horror games that I can think of right now. There's a couple VR games that they have out now where your voice plays a factor, but that's about as far as they go. You know.
Yeah, they haven't really done a lot of voice activated games or stuff like that. Like what was that game back on PS2 where you played like a security officer and a security guard, and you were basically guiding a civilian out of like this mess with just your voice and looking through cameras. What the hell was that game's called?
Really?
It was really dumb. Yeah, it was fuck, because it was like when the PlayStation mic first got introduced, and like you basically just sit there, you set your controller to the side, you don't even need the controller if I remember right, and there's this like little blonde girl sitting inside this room, and you have to tell her, go now, go left, down that hallway. And it was
there's
like that.
There's a VR game like that called is it like The Last Labyrinth or something like that?
Could be. I don't have VR, so I don't really know. Or like the PS2 SOCOM games. There was some voice activated shit.
Dude, I fucking love SOCOM.
Yeah, so did I. They might be remaking SOCOM. I don't know if you saw that, but
see, my issue is that they tried to do that one time, and it was just like, we need to be like Call of Duty, and I'm like, no,
be SOCOM, please.
Yes, like stop.
Be as SOCOM as possible. I want SOCOM. It was cool.
It was so good, dude. It was so good.
I remember that game real fun.
I played all of them too. Confrontation was the one I think I played the most. SOCOM 2 and Confrontation were the two that I think I played countless
there's
hours.
a lot of games that I wish would get reboots. SOCOM, Army of Two, Kane and Lynch would be nice. Shit like that.
Dude, if they remake Black, you remember Black?
Oh yeah, I remember Black. Black was shit.
That was one of the first games I played with full on ragdoll mechanics and shit.
Yeah. Fuck, we need to just do a game stream where we talk about old shit.
I'm telling you.
Talk like a bunch of assholes. Hey,
All
remember this fucking game? Yeah, it was great.
We do, but we gotta wrap this one up for now.
For sure.
Because and you know what, we did talk about doing a stream for Trails, but I'm just like, nobody gonna listen to us talk about that shit.
Listen, people need to love Trails of Cold Steel. That game is fantastic.
It is wonderful
if
fucking
y'all
game.
Haven't heard of Trails of Cold Steel, wait for the stream and then buy it, or just buy it and then come on the stream and bitch at us.
It was so good.
About why we're wrong. It's still so good. I need to finish 3.
I haven't started.
A homie.
I haven't started 3. I'm about 75%.
I got like maybe an hour into 3, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait till Satsu catches up, and then I'm gonna finish it.
All right. Well, we gonna have to gush about that soon too. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If
you didn't, that's fine too.
That's fine too. Hopefully nobody.
You're still here though, so you probably enjoyed something.
Satsu, what are your thoughts on my comparison of Ellie and Abby to Naruto and Pain, ending the cycle and doing whatever was necessary to do so?
I say stop watching Naruto.
Naruto is good.
That show was bad. There was 2 cool characters.
Well, you know what? Shippuden was much better,
Probably.
there was a
I'll
lot
believe you on
of there was a lot of filler bullshit going on in Naruto. Although I criticize the filler a lot less in Naruto than I do in Bleach because it was actually most of it was canon.
Progressive, yeah.
But-
I stopped watching Naruto when they hyped up the tailed beast so hard as this big thug moment that if Naruto ever unleashed a second tail, he would be unstoppable. And then he got murked by hand wing bitch Sasuke on that bridge. I was like, I'm out. That's stupid. You can't hype something up so much and Chekhov's gun me so hard. And they did Rock Lee dirty twice. Fuck off.
All
Rock
right.
Lee the best.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If we start weeb talking, this shit ain't ending. It's not stopping, so
No.
I need to stop it right
You
here.
might as well just set up a weeb stream for later. Fuck it.
Exactly.
I will gush about Last Man, which you still haven't watched.
Oh God. Bye everybody.
Last Man the best.
We will see you
Later.
on Lords of the Night. Well, I'll see you on Lords of the Night. He ain't gonna be there.
I'll watch it later because I'm a
Bye
scrub
guys.
and I'll be playing video games.
Oh jeez.